Welcome to Mids Market. I'm giving Rachel a tour of our crazy fever dream of a store that we decided to build.
And what's your name?
Scott. I'm Scott.
And who are you?
I am one of the guys behind Mids Market. We don't really do titles here. It's like kind of crazy. I helped brainstorm the concept. I've known Ryan for 20 years. I've known Evelyn for 10 years. Old friends and lifelong vintage wearer. Gave up my life in New York to come down here and start this weird job, and it's really fun. Come check it out. Love it. So over here, this is really the heart and soul of Mids, because the bins are really this is where we're focusing on our Mids primarily. Sorry, I'm a little tongue twisty right now. The reason why we came up with the name Mids, by the way, is something a lot of people are probably curious about. It. Like, Mids, aren't Mids whack? Like, no. First of all, Mids are the opposite of whack. We love Mids, don't say that. We have a background in selling secondhand clothes. And there's a tiny percentage of secondhand clothes that gets all the attention, right? There's almost a pretentiousness about secondhand. In reality, there's 95% of the clothes are good, hardworking, good for the environment, and just honestly unique. And you'll see that when we get into these bins. So what we've done here is curated over 40 different top trending styles, right? And all of this comes again from our wholesale experience. So we know what stores are buying and we fill the store up. So that's where it's a little bit different than regular thrift shops, right? Regular thrift shops are wonderful. We love thrift shops, but they are a little bit limited by what they can take in, right? And so when we talk about Thrift 2.0, it's this idea that we create a thrift experience that's just a little bit more curated and easily accessible for everybody to come in and just find something that speaks to them. So another thing about Mids Market is that it's very different from really any store, because we've got these crazy club speakers here, and it'd be okay if you were confused as whether or not this is a club or a store. Really, fun is just important to us over here, and so we brought this in so that we can also bring together for community events, whether it's line dancing, whether it's bingo, whether it's a late night party, whatever it is. Like, we want to just create a space that can, shift to whatever, event calls for. And that's how we got everything on wheels. Yeah. So
literally everything's on wheels.
Everything is on wheels.
Wait, let me give you a little span of this.
Span it up.
Yeah, this is really sourced rather than you can still find a treasure, it looks like.
So our ambition long term is to become circular locally. We want people to bring their clothes in when they're done with them, and somebody might fall out of love with something, right? It's not because it's less than or whatever. They're trying to make space for a new item, and if they do, we're trying to encourage them to come here. They can drop off 2 pieces in exchange for 1, and they can walk right out with it. Have to rely on bringing stuff in from overseas, right? Like,
right.
We're happy to be promoting secondhand fashion, and we do it in our way, right? But like, longer term, we want to create more efficiencies and keep things even more local, so we don't have to have clothes shipped overseas and then shipped back, right? I mean, any clothes that people are buying that is not requiring the production of new clothes is, in our mind, very good, right? But like, look, I'm wearing bored. Like, I occasionally buy new clothes too, and that's all right. Like, we got to just try and make space and present opportunities for people to buy secondhand if they want it.
Okay.
So in the back, we have what are the more popular secondhand categories, right? We've got music, TV, movie, college and pro sport, Harley, NASCAR, Y2K, denim, and women's, right? And everything back here, I would say 95% of it is aged 15 years or older. You can tell it because a lot of them have tags, right? Because a lot of the new clothes don't have tags. But beyond that, Ryan, who's really kind of a beautiful mind when it comes to like piecing together like secondhand clothes, like he can really spot a tag and tell you exactly when and where it was made. Yeah. So, I mean, look at this. Like, I'll tell you something. I'm from New York. I only wear black, as you can see, but occasionally when I'm feeling like a little extra, like even something like NASCAR, like I've kind of found a fondness. I don't know if it's because I'm maybe just like becoming flow grown in my short time down here, but like fun.
When you're becoming full grown?
Flow grown.
What's flow grown? You're gonna have to,
Florida grown. It's kind of an
Oh.
expression for people that are from Florida. Look, I guess I'm becoming a Florida man, and I'm okay with that.
Scott Nieman, Florida man. Florida man.
You heard it here. But yeah, so Harley's fun. Carpets are still getting worked out over here. You're really watching the sausage get made. And then we'll go over to the music section, which is very fun. In the music section, you know, we're starting to pull in some decorations that you'll see. We're still, again, everything is still work in progress over here, so no judging. Judgment-free zone. But yeah, I mean, music section is like, look, me personally, I'm a deadhead, so anything that's tie-dye, I'm loving. But you'll see we got our original NSYNC dolls back here. These guys, I mean, come on. Who are you, Rachel? Which one was your favorite? Anybody?
Okay, was it Justin? I'm gonna have to text my high school best friends because I can't remember which. Probably
I think
Justin.
I was basic. I probably was Justin.
I always liked Lance too.
Yeah, Lance was cool. Joey was always kind of like the approachable one.
Right, that's true.
But yeah, this
They
stuff,
all just seem like nice guys, actually.
yeah, they're nice
I
guys.
don't
Were you
know.
Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
More in sync.
Yeah?
I like their music better.
I see. I don't know. I think I leaned a little bit Backstreet Boys, but I don't know. This is tough. It's bringing me back.
You're
I
on
like
camera.
that. Oh, I know.
Well,
Yes.
I
okay,
mean-
sorry.
I mean-
I mean, I was more
Good.
of 98 Degrees. Guy
Okay,
first.
okay, right. Nickelback?
Nickelback, yes. Creed, Guster, all those.
Yeah.
You know. Who wouldn't want this? Snoop Dogg, Dogfather. You want to watch
I
the
went
Olympics?
to the Up and Smoke tour.
Did you really watch
I
that?
did.
Yeah, so Kills, we love music, which is why we also have vinyl records.
Oh, also have vinyl records, and there's
And we are joined over here
You're
by the owners of Mid Market.
You wanna
We've got Mr. Ryan Frankel and Miss Evelyn Frankel.
give it up.
Give it up, guys. Put your hands
Give
in
it
the air.
up.
Put your hands in the air. Let's go.
Woo!
Let's go. Let's get loud. Yeah.
What did we get up tonight? The sign.
The sign, yeah. Did we get the
We
sign
got
on
this
camera?
whole wall up.
This
we
one-
got,
this was
we
all
got
put
all
up
the
today.
picture frames up today.
Yeah.
There's a lot done today.
Yeah, we got a lot done today.
It looks
Last-
beautiful.
I would say 4 days ago, this place was pretty much empty.
Yeah.
We like literally had to get the floors clean so we could set it up. So 4 days ago, it was completely empty, the store.
So
And
you
it was really frustrating. Sorry if I can just vent a little
Yes,
bit on
please
camera.
vent.
It was
Vent on
so,
camera.
so frustrating that like because they were still cleaning spaces, we were constantly moving one side of the store to the other side of the store, and like back and forth and back and forth. And I'm like, I want to unpack
It's
these
crazy.
clothes. Pet these dogs. This is Zeus, by the way. Zeus, sit. Good boy,
Zeus, have you been helpful?
Zeus has been helping out a lot.
So
Zeus,
helpful.
Zoe, very
Our
helpful.
emotional support animal.
Yeah.
He's the
that's-
mascot.
Yeah, he
He's a
really
good
is.
boy.
Keeps everybody in good spirits.
I think the last thing I want to show you really quickly, and then we can eat some pizza because you know it's pizza time, is our Mids Museum. And the Mids Museum was a really crazy idea. Ryan is like one of the craziest people I know. I've known him for 20 years. And
How did you two meet?
we met at summer camp. We went to West Coast Connection, one of these like teen tour programs for spoiled kids, and we've just been friends ever since. And it's funny because we're very different. Couldn't be more different. There's a
can
reason why
tell.
I'm talking on camera right now, not him.
Yeah.
Because he's really like the brains behind the operation. I'm just the one who talks. But the National Museum of Mids, American brands and their impact on fashion and culture.
Wait, it is a museum.
Yeah, the National Museum of Mids. And actually the guys that are here right now, as you can see, are getting the wall decals ready. So it's like proper museum style. So that's gonna be on the back wall. Born in a garage. We not only don't think inside the box, we don't know where the box is, but all of this is from Jim Gennard, who is the founder and creator of Oakley, which is gonna be our first exhibit, which we're starting for
Vintage Oakley.
Vintage Oakley. It's software from the late 90s, early 2000s. That's kind of what started Gorpcore, which is where you see all these tech bros wearing, you know, Everest ready gear. And so Ryan has fallen in love with it. And, you know, what was really important to Ryan is that, you know, there are lots of vintage stores. And they've got their little grail section. Hey, Zozo. Hey, sweet girl. They've got their grails, right? Zoe, come here. Zoe, come. Zoe, I'm talking.
Pup interruption.
Come on, let's go over here. Come on. So, you know, when we were first concepting the space, Ryan was like, all right, like I want to have a special space where I can, you know, talk about the brands that I love. And me, business person, barely, but like trying to be, was like, all right, maybe we'll put a bunch of racks in here. And I'm like, Oakley, is that gonna be enough? And he's like, dude, I don't really care if we even sell any of the things in here. I just want to talk about the brands that I like, which is why you'll look around, this place is very filled up, but over here there's a lot of empty space, getting the wall decal over there so people can come here and learn a little bit about Oakley and how crazy of a brand it really is. I remember I had one of these backpacks when I was younger, and I always thought it, like, I honestly, yeah, I didn't think it was very cool, honestly.
They were just like good gear.
It was gear. It was total gear. And I remember, I was like wearing one of these one-strap backpacks. That was probably like the first time I think I like accessorized in a way where I was like, look at me, like I want to do things a little differently. I got one strap, I'm not doing two straps.
I made a design decision.
Exactly. And so, Ryan is obsessed, so you'll see he's got like literally these moldings from back in the day, the Medusa helmets.
Have you told Oakley you're doing this?
We're going to.
Good.
Yeah. And it's just weird. We want to be weird here. We don't want to do things that are normal, genuinely. We just think that, and this is sort of, I hate to use the word like disruptive, because it's a little bit of a buzzword.
It is.
But like we do want people to come here and feel a little disarmed and be like, wait, what's going on here? Wait, there's a museum? Like, wait, I have to give my ID in order to even enter here? Is it shoppable? It is shoppable, but you guys really even know.
You're creating a retail experience, which is very much missing in Thrift. We have the online experience, but you want to talk about why it's so important to also have in-store retail experiences for secondhand.
And that's why we also do the bins thing, right? And that's why binning is so fun, because like there's this sense of discovery. You don't know exactly what you're going to get. But here, we've really tried to bring everything under one roof, right? And so if you want to go straight for the music vintage, you can find it easily. If you want to just hang out with your friends and spend time rummaging through bins, you can do that. If you want to come hang out at the Oakley thing, we want people to hang out here. And at some of our other stores, like people tend to dwell there for a long time, which is great. We love that. Community, fun. Like fun is really important to us, like sincerely. We want to create fun. And when we talked about the name, that was a part of it as well, where we're like, we need fun allowance. And there's a little bit of tongue-in-cheekness with it, where it's like mids or mids less than. Like, no, we just wanted to be silly about it in a weird way, So that's what it was, mids. Mids was an interesting day. We were at Ryan's house. I come from an advertising background, so like we had lots of big white Post-it notes on the wall. There was 100 names written down. And mids emerged, and of course, like I think my brain, I'm like, oh, are we really saying that? But like the more, like the second we all kind of were like, yeah, we are saying that. Like we really owned it, and that was what was really fun. And we went with it. There was like other names we tinkered with, like Dibs, but all of that just felt like so like brandy.
It's a little insider too. Like those who know.
Yeah.
It's a inside joke a bit.
Definitely, and I think that we're without a doubt. I don't want to necessarily say tapping into like the cynicism, but there's like a radical honesty that I think people appreciate, right? About the fact that like when we talk about mints, we're definitely not saying it's bad, but we're just acknowledging that it might not be like the ultra premium, even though a lot of this stuff here is very rare, and you'll see that with a lot of the sections that we have. But it's like the spirit of secondhand isn't about the superficial pieces that are extremely rare. It's about trying to change consumers' behaviors about adopting everyday secondhand and seeing the value in everyday secondhand, right? Just because it's not premium doesn't mean it's not perfectly suitable. That's how we feel. We're here.
This is the rework station.
Yes, the rework station. And the idea is that, just to further promote people's individuality and their creativity, we want to create and build supplies for people to literally come in here and like make their own outfits if they want, right? And we will be providing a lot of like good B-grade stuff that's like maybe has a little bit of stain, but there's a lot of it that's still very workable, right? That you can then essentially embroider onto a jacket or dazzle your stuff. And this is just an example of sort of creativity and individuality that we are trying to promote with the store. Yeah, this is all work. I'm grading through this stuff right now. But yeah, fun. So we love thrift shops and we love vintage stores, right? Thrift stores are wonderful, but they're a little bit limited by what they can take in through donations. And vintage boutiques are also, they have incredibly rare items, but they can be very expensive, right? And so with this new concept, we're trying to create something that really brings the best of both worlds, but also if there's like sort of a Venn diagram between those two, imagine a third one, which is like department store style, right? And this is our ambition long-term, is to try and create something that we can scale and repeat into different markets, right? Because at the end of the day, there isn't an experience like this, right? There are wonderful thrift and secondhand stores, and I'm not trying to pretend like this is the most unique idea ever. People have found awesome ways to create new things, but there are many, many, many mom and pop thrift shops, right, and vintage stores. What we're trying to do here is create something that can scale, and that has really penetrated every decision that we've made, from branding to the floor design to the categories that we're bringing in. And look, we're a small business. Like we're rolling up our sleeves, building stuff ourselves.
Literally, you did it this week.
I did all this
stocked
week
the
too.
store this week.
And so like, it's not necessarily going to be the most graceful or perfectly executed, but like
Never
our
is.
ambition is to really blow this thing up. Like we want to make this. We want to have one of these in every city, right? Because there's no reason why there shouldn't be this in every city. I'm surprised that there's nothing like this even in Miami, which is a huge place, right? I mean, I'm from New York. I shop at L Train all the time, or Metropolis, like these big grand thrift stores, right? That are similar to this, right? But there's nothing like this here. And so we want to bring this everywhere. We want to share this with everybody. And that's why, we've really put our heart and soul into trying to make this thing as great as we can.
So would you say your hope is, instead of maybe shoving fast fashion for accessibility, people can come here and find basics to unique things?
There should be. The thing that breaks my heart is that when I am in our warehouse, right, when we do a lot of wholesale fulfillment, there's a massive gaylord filled with branded clothing, right? So Nike, Adidas, whatever. And I look at this stuff and I'm like, this is perfect. Mint condition, no holes, no stains, nothing wrong with it whatsoever. And it's kind of like driving a car. The second you take it off the lot, it depreciates in value, when in reality, it is the same exact clothing. And so there's no reason why. We just ask ourselves, why aren't there more opportunities for people to buy this stuff, right? And what we do is we sell it to thrift and vintage stores, but there isn't something that's sort of conceptual like this that is big and over the top, that is a physical in-person retail store where people can come in and see it for themselves, because you ultimately need to see and feel it, right? In order to understand that it is the same thing. And you can save money, and you can style, and you can do all the things that you want. Like, you can buy 4 shirts for the price of 1, and it's insane. And it's better for the environment, which is what we really need to be promoting here, honestly. Like, let's just be real here. We are irresponsible, and the responsibility really is on government and businesses, and that's without a doubt. But we want to try and influence the change that we can by at least putting the options in front of people, right? And that's what we do. And the clothes speak for themselves, and that's ultimately why we're putting our money where our mouth is. Let's create the store. If you build it, they will come. And we're going to test that out. Yes, they have. Yes, it does. They have the file.
Wow, it's so good. It's so beautiful. Holy shit. I literally could probably cry right now. Oh my god, it's so beautiful.
Nice job. I'm about to call Max.